Hello, my darlings, and welcome to a series that I like to call A Witch's Home. In each episode, I like to share a little glimpse into my witchy home and practices. And in this video, I'd like to share with you my household altars. Let's do some magical crafting. But before we do, just a quick disclaimer. I'm happy to share a peek into my home and practice. My witchy tools and decor are the result of many years of collecting books, herbs, and magical ingredients. I've spent years crafting magical recipes and decor for videos on this channel. It's not necessary to own these items to practice magic. Everyone's practice looks different. Yours does not have to look like mine. I'm giving this first altar a bit of a dusting before showing it to you. This little sacred space is dedicated to the goddesses Quan and Lakshmi. It's situated in my living room on a console near my home's entrance. It's meant to draw specific kinds of energy into my home. Quan is a goddess of mercy and compassion in many East Asian traditions. She's associated with kindness, healing, and protection. Having her statue near the entrance welcomes positive energy, especially compassion and protection, into my home. Lakshmi, the Hindu goddess of wealth, fortune, and prosperity, represents abundance and good fortune and beauty. Placing her statue near the entrance invites prosperity and wealth to flow into my household. I keep a container next to Lakshmi where I place offerings of coins. My offering to Quan today is a gray feather that I found on my path as I was taking a walk today. In Hindu tradition, several flowers are associated with Lakshmi. These flowers are often used in worship, rituals, and offerings dedicated to her. Two of the flowers that I'll bring to Lakshmi are rose or marigolds. I also like to keep lotus flowers in a vase for both her and Quan. The lotus flower holds great significance in Hinduism and is often associated with purity and enlightenment and divinity. Lakshmi is frequently shown sitting or standing on a fully blossomed lotus, symbolizing her association with beauty, prosperity, and spiritual growth. The same is true of Quan. Quan is often depicted sitting or standing on a lotus flower, symbolizing her transcendence above worldly suffering. I also added white chrysanthemums to the vase for Quan. Chrysanthemums symbolize longevity, happiness, and resilience, and they're sometimes associated with Quan as symbols of her compassionate presence. Another offering is sweet incense. Today I chose a gratitude blend of mint and basil. Rose or jasmine incense would also be excellent choices, as jasmine is associated with both Lakshmi and Quan. Before we take a look at my next household altar, a quick word from this video's sponsor. Instead of taking outside sponsorships this year, I'm sponsoring my own content, so this video is sponsored by me. Over the last few years, I've designed a whole series of magical journals, planners, and blank grimoires, and I'm creating new witchy workbooks all the time. These magical crafting books can be found on Amazon and at the link below the video. The blank grimoires are the perfect place to store your notes about crystals, herbal plant allies, and tarot or oracle cards, or to plan out spell work and rituals. The journals are filled with writing prompts to get you in tune and aligned with your goals and values, and to help you begin shadow work, daily affirmations, or a gratitude practice. And the planners are undated and versatile, so you can plan your perfect morning routine, your week, or your month. To get your magical journal, planner or blank grimoire, check out my magical crafting books at the link below the video. The next household altar is in my bookshelves. I've created a space in front of my magical spell oil for a small altar to the Egyptian goddess Ma'at. In Egyptian mythology, Ma'at is the goddess of truth, balance, order, harmony, and justice. She is always shown with an ostrich feather on her head, symbolizing truth and justice. I've placed a statue of Ma'at on top of a thrifted platter in front of a representation of a scale. On the scale, I've placed an ostrich feather on one side and a piece of heart-shaped selenite on the other side. The main symbol associated with Ma'at is the ostrich feather, also known as the feather of Ma'at or the feather of truth. In the afterlife, the heart of the deceased was weighed against the feather of Ma'at to determine whether they lived a virtuous life. Ma'at is also associated with scales, representing the weighing of actions and deeds in life. The balance of the scales symbolizes the maintenance of order and justice in the universe. This is another small shrine to Ma'at that I crafted. It has an ostrich feather at the top, a statue of the goddess, and a tiny offering plate. On the golden background, I painted the hieroglyphs for the goddess's name, alongside a large Ankh. Often called the key of life or the key of the Nile, the Ankh is a symbol of life and immortality, and Ma'at is sometimes depicted holding an Ankh, emphasizing her role in maintaining cosmic order and the perpetuation of life. Below that, I painted a depiction of the heart-weighing ceremony. The baboon, sacred to Ma'at and often a representation of the goddess, sits atop a scale. Anubis weighs the deceased's heart against the feather of Ma'at, and the goddess Ammit sits nearby awaiting the outcome of the ceremony. The weighing of the heart ceremony determines if the deceased lived a virtuous life according to Ma'at's principles. If the heart is lighter than the feather, they enter the afterlife happily. If heavier, indicating wrongdoing, they face the goddess Ammit, devourer of souls, who consumes their heart, leading to eternal death. Between these two altars for Ma'at is a small space dedicated to both Bastet and Thoth. Thoth is the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing. He sits beside Bastet, who wears a necklace of semi-precious stones, citrine, labradorite, rose quartz, and lapis lazuli. Originally a warrior goddess, Bastet is also the Egyptian goddess of home, fertility, childbirth, and cats. Often depicted as a lioness or a woman with the head of a lioness or domestic cat, she embodies both fierce protection and nurturing qualities. She is honored in my home for her role in safeguarding households in general and domestic cats in specific. I also love her brave warrior spirit. I honor Bastet with offerings such as food, incense, flowers, and precious objects. In her offering bowl is a piece of turquoise and dried chamomile flowers. At her feet is a bundle of sweet herbs. Cats are held in high regard as sacred animals associated with Bastet, and offerings of cat figurines or statues were made in her honor. I've adorned her space with cat statues and other items that hold special meaning to me. I have painted an incense holder with gold paint and lotus flowers. When I burn incense here, it's an offering to Bastet, Thoth, and Ma'at. This is my altar to the Hindu god Ganesha. This is the top of my working altar in my office. Perhaps the most recognizable feature of Ganesha is his elephant head, symbolizing wisdom, intellect, and the ability to overcome obstacles. I honor Ganesha as a god of creativity, a remover of obstacles, and the deity of new beginnings, success, wisdom, and prosperity. As an offering, I place a shortbread cookie in a small dish inside the shrine. Modak is a sweet dumpling believed to be Ganesha's favorite, so I like to offer sweet food items occasionally. I also light a tea light candle in this elephant-shaped warmer and offer sweetly scented oils such as ylang ylang, orange blossom, jasmine, or rose. I thank Ganesha for sharing his gifts of creativity and removing obstacles. Sometimes in August or September, during his festival called Ganesh Chaturthi, I will create a smaller altar for Ganesha on this wooden tray and display it in my home. The final altar I wanted to share is this space where I display my statue of Hecate holding a torch. Hecate is an ancient goddess from Greek mythology, often associated with magic, witchcraft, crossroads, and the night. In some myths, Hecate is closely associated with the goddess Persephone, acting as her guide and companion during her journeys between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. I've included a skull, bones, and pomegranates on her altar to represent her in this role of a psychopomp. She's also associated with home protection, and this is the reason I've placed so many protective items on her altar. A witch's burr, a pentagram, and a pine cone all hold protective energy. I've also added a miniature brass cauldron containing more bones, red string for protection charms, and a small key, which is a symbol of Hecate's role as a guardian of thresholds and crossroads. It represents her ability to unlock hidden knowledge, mysteries, and opportunities, as well as her power to open or close doors between the worlds. Thank you for joining me for this episode of A Witch's Home.